Hi folks, welcome back to the shop here at Project Pine Hills. Today we're talking about this Klein Tools FastBit Tru-Grip screwdriver, and we're going to be comparing it to this Wiha Centrafix made in Germany screwdriver. Now you might say, why not just use a multi-bit screwdriver instead of a locking bit holder like this Klein 14-in-1 screwdriver or like this Lutz 6-in-1. The drawback of these multi-bit screwdrivers is they can't reach into a recessed hole like a fixed blade screwdriver. And that's because the shank of a fixed blade screwdriver is no larger than the head itself. But you can put a bit in one of these locking bit holders and you can reach those recessed screws, with the added benefit that you can use these bits in your impact driver. Now, if you're not aware, Klein Tools just came out with this new ball grip screwdriver. It's made in Japan. It's got this locking bit holder here with dual screwdriver tips on it that come with the screwdriver. So if I pull this collar back, I can take the bit out, flip it around, and without pulling the collar in, I can push the bit in, and it's got this passive locking mechanism so it auto locks into place. I want to take it out, I pull the collar back, flip the bit around, put it back in, it locks into place. And you can put just about any bit in this screwdriver. Now what's different about it is it's made in Japan. It's got a Japanese, or JIS, that's Japanese Industrial Standard, #2 Phillips bit on it. And what's different about that? These JIS bits are designed not to cam out of the screws. Unlike the USA standard, I have a Klein USA made screwdriver here. If I put this in the screw, you can see if I turn this, the bit of the screwdriver is designed to cam out once it gets too tight. These JIS bits are designed not to cam out. We could take a screw and you can see that this bit is not magnetic. You can see I put that screw on there and you can see how well that bit holds that screw on the screwdriver. In fact, I can turn the screwdriver upside down and hold the screwdriver by the screw and then turn the screwdriver up. So that's the kind of fitment you get with the JIS bit. What's great about the screwdriver, it's not just about the bits that come with it, but the fact that this handle can take just about any bit. I can take a Klein 6-in-1 or 7-in-1 flip socket set, I can put it in there and it locks right into place. Or I can take the quad socket, put it in here, or I can take a 3.5-inch screwdriver bit, put that in there. I can even take this Vessel Japanese made 13mm anvil that you see here on this driver, and I can put that in this Klein and it fits in there just fine. And it also takes double-ended bits. I've got this annex screwdriver here that's got a double-ended Japanese style bit. So I can take this #2 Phillips and put it in there, locks in fine, pull the collet back, take it out. And you'll notice here that this is even a different style of Japanese bit here. You can see there's just a little bit of hex exposed there. Some Japanese bits have this double-ended on both ends, but I can even put that in there and that locks into place just fine. So a lot of versatility with this ball grip handle, but it's widely believed that this Wiha Centrafix screwdriver has the best locking bit holder mechanism. And of course, if you look at this Wiha, you can see that it's made in Germany. Now, both these screwdrivers have ball bearing locking mechanisms. Let's take a quick look at that. Now, if we look at the Klein ball grip locking bit holder, it's got 3 ball bearings in it. You can see 1 ball bearing right there. And if I turn it, you'll see it's got a flat hex side. And if I turn it some more, you'll see another ball bearing in there for 3 ball bearings total. Then another flat side, another ball bearing. So they're in there in a triangular formation, and this collar releases those ball bearings. If you look further down, you'll see a round sleeve. That's where the bits bottom out. The corners of the hex bits hit that round sleeve. So that's how this mechanism works. Now, if you look at this Wiha, you'll see it has 4 ball bearings, but it has 2 on one hex side. And then on the next, it has a flat hex, no ball bearings. On the next flat side of the hex, there's 2 more ball bearings for a total of 4. And then there's 3 flat hex sides that don't have any ball bearings. So you see it's got those 4 ball bearings, 2 there, a flat side, and then 2 more ball bearings. So that's a total of 4 ball bearings in this Wiha Centrafix. Now, the way this Wiha Centrafix works is you push this collar out on the locking bit holder to put it in the unlock position. You then put in your bit and you pull the collar back to lock it. So it doesn't automatically lock, but you can see it's got excellent lockup on that bit. Very little play. In fact, if I pull it down, a little bit less play. If I want to unlock it, I push this collar out, take the bit out, and I can operate this another way if I'd like. I can just sort of push the spring up and not totally unlock it and spring back in place. That's another way I can operate this Centrafix. Put the screwdriver bit in, let the spring off, or I can push up until it clicks, stays unlocked, put the bit in, lock it in. So that's how this locking mechanism works. So let's compare how well these lock up on different bits. And the Wiha can also take these 13mm style anvils. So if I put this in the Centrafix, lock it down, you can see that bit's in there with excellent lockup. All right, so I can take that same bit, push that into the Klein, also has excellent lockup. Just a tad bit of play, you can hear that. If I push this collar up, get a little better lockup. Again, just a tad bit. We're gonna go back to the Centrafix, put that in there, push the lock down. Again, a tad bit of play, probably a little tighter than the Klein, but they're very close. They're both very good. So both these screwdrivers will work with this USA style 8mm anvil, which most of the world uses, and this Japanese style 13mm anvil. Of course, the benefit to this style bit, being able to drive it with these screwdrivers, is that you can also use them in your impact. You can see I can push these right into this impact, no problem. Now I can't put this Japanese 13mm anvil in here because that's not going to lock. It will work with Japanese made like Makita impact drivers that specifically are designed for this, but they will work with your drill. Here we have two US style bits that most of the world uses. You can see they're 1-inch long bits. This one has that 8mm anvil on it, and you can see the 8mm starts right here at that notch on the one on the left. Let's see how these fit into those drivers. We're going to take one of the bits out of this Klein 14-in-1 screwdriver. It has all these bits in the handle. We'll take out this T25 bit here, and you'll see on the Klein ball grip that it won't work because the bit has to have at least 1 inch to go into the collet, and Klein recommends the bits be at least 1.5 inches long. So if you put it in there, the bit will just fall in and click into place, but it will come out if you open up the collar. So you could store bits in here, but it won't work to drive them. And you can easily address that by putting a bit holder in here and then putting your 1-inch long hex bits in that bit holder. And of course that will then make the bits magnetic because the magnetism in this bit holder passes on to the bit itself. We could take that same style bit, put it in the CentroFix, lock the collar here, and you can see it holds that bit rock solid. Now you can see there's not much extension on the bit out here, but it does hold that bit. Now you take that other style bit, of course you have the same problem here in the Klein. Now if we take this other USA style bit, often called a power bit designed for impact drivers, you can see that bit fits in there fine. And the Wiha or the Wiha Centrafix can hold that bit as well. It's locked in there, rock solid, no play. How well does this 4-inch long icon extension from their mini ratchet work in here? Let's try it in the Klein Tools. You can see it locks right into place. Good lockout, there's no play. All right, so let's try that in the CentroFix. Put the CentroFix in here, lock the bit. Perfect lockout on that as well. So now we can take a 10mm socket, pop it on there and drive that. How well does this Klein Tools quad socket fit? Let's try it in the Klein Tools ball grip handle first. And there's zero play in the shank. It might be in the socket itself, but not in the shank. We're going to try it in the Wiha Centrafix. Also, zero play. Let's see, you need some extension. How about this DeWalt 6-inch bit extension for 1-inch long bits? Put that in the Klein Tools holder, push up a little bit on the collar. So there's a little bit of axial play in there. Not very bad, but push up on it just a little bit. Let's try this in the Wiha Centrafix. Rock solid in there. Just a slight bit of play, a little bit tighter than the Klein Tools. Now how well does the Wiha SlimFix locking bit holder fit? So let's try it first in the Klein. You can see it goes in there, goes all the way in, hits this collar here, locks up really tight, locks up fine. Let's try this SlimFix and Wiha Centrafix. Rock solid, locks right up. Now this Klein ball grip can even use a bit from this Lutz 6-in-1. If I just pull this bit out here, it's a double-ended bit. You'll notice it has a ball bearing on there, but it's a 1/4-inch hex. You just take it and push it into this ball grip. It's already locked on right there. Pull it or take it out. Flip it around, push this guy in there. Already locks in before it even hits that bearing. So it can even take double-ended bits with ball bearings. Let's see how my Ullman USA made mechanic straight pick will work in here. Goes right into the Klein. Locks up just fine. Let's try this in the CentroFix. Put it in the CentroFix, pull the collar down. You can see it locks up. Works great. I think I might use this all the time. Now I noticed that Klein bits fit really well in the Klein handle and they have excellent lockout. We try them in the CentroFix. They still lock up pretty good, but just a little bit of play. They seem to fit better in the Klein. So let's try these Wiha bits and see how well they fit. Got this Wiha bit holder here. It's got this little hex here. You can just flip it down, opens up the door to the bits. We'll take out a number 2 Phillips here, and let's try it in the Klein. It's a 2-inch long Wiha or Wiha bit. Put that in there, just a tad bit of play. Push this collar up, locks in rock solid, no play whatsoever. Take the bit out. Let's try this in the CentroFix. Perfect lockup right off the bat. So it does fit the Wiha or the Wiha Centrafix really well, these Wiha bits. So you probably get a better fitment if you match up your Wiha bits with your Wiha driver or your Klein bits with your Klein driver, but they are interchangeable and they'll work fine. So let's check for any play in these screwdriver tips. I can put this Wiha bit in this Klein Tools driver. Let's see if there's any play here in the screw. You can see basically there's no play. All right, let's try this Wiha Centrafix. In fact, I'll turn the screw a little bit. And you see there's zero play in this Wiha Centrafix. So let's compare these two drivers. Now there's always trade-off with tools, and one of the benefits of the Klein is it auto locks. So to put this bit in the Wiha Centrafix, first have to unlock the bit holder, put the bit in, and then lock the bit. So it's 2 steps there if this is in the lock position, at least 1 step. If you look at the Klein Tools ball grip, there's no steps. You can just push it in automatically. Another thing I noticed is this Klein is easier to unlock. I can take one finger and pull back the collar and take out the bit. In the CentroFix, it's harder to unlock. I mean, I can lock it with one finger, but it really takes two fingers to unlock it. So it's easier to unlock this Klein. The other benefit to this Klein Tools ball grip is it can take pretty much any bit, as long as it's a little over an inch long. So you can put this double-ended bit in here. They push in automatically. We can't do that in the CentroFix. You see I put the blade in, it won't lock in because it's not hex there on the end. Same on either end of that blade. Let's try this annex blade in the Wiha Centrafix. So if I put that in here on the Phillips end and I lock it, it will lock up and hold that into the blade. If we unlock it, flip it around to the slotted end, put that in, lock it, it'll hold it, but it wobbles around. So it won't really work that well with these double-ended blades. And you can take bits like this 3.5-inch Milwaukee bit. Klein makes them as well. I'll have a link in the description. But you can put those in, and you can store the bit in the screwdriver handle. So more of an EDC. I noticed Doc had mentioned this over at Last Best Tool. You can't do that with the CentroFix. Let's try this bit on the Wiha Centrafix. We just take that J-ass bit, put it in there, lock it down. Sure enough, it locks right up. And you can use that hex on the end. The other benefit is you'll notice that the Klein handle is shorter than the Wiha handle, and the collar is in a better location. So if we put a bit in the CentroFix, we lock it into place. You notice my natural position for my hand is here on the handle. Well, then I have to choke up on the screwdriver, push up to unlock it, pull the bit out, put another bit in, lock it in there, move my hand back down to position on this guy. But on the Klein, you put the bit in, your hand's already in the natural position to unlock it. You don't have to move your hand. So the unlock mechanism here of this collar is in a more natural position than it is on this Wiha, where you have to move up to get to the locking mechanism. So that's a lot of benefits to this Klein ball grip. Now Wiha is also known for this sort of bulbous handle. You can see it gets really high here and curves down the back and in the front. So it's very round here, and these handles are different sizes on different size screwdrivers. I like the size on this handle. It feels natural in the hand. It's a good size. And this ball grip, if you look at it end to end here, you can see the actual ball on this ball grip is a little bit larger in diameter than the Wiha. So both great handles. It's going to be up to your personal preference. I do really like the ball grip, though. I'm not taking anything away from this Wiha. It feels great too. Now, one option that would be interesting on this Klein Tools ball grip screwdriver is to see if they would add a ratcheting mechanism to it, like this annex ratcheting screwdriver. Now, it has a switch here on the side that stays out of the way. So if I just flip this red switch here, I can ratchet this driver, flip the red switch the other way, and ratchet the other direction. If I put this switch in the middle, it locks up and has excellent lockup. In fact, you can tell here, if I put it on the screw and turn it, you can see there's very little play in this ratcheting screwdriver. Most screwdrivers like this Vera that has this wrap adapter on the end, if you put them in the lockout position, you can see they have a fair amount of play in them. But you don't see any of that in the annex. So there you have it, folks, just a comparison between this Klein Tools ball grip and the Wiha Centrafix. Now, these are both great tools, but my personal preference, weighing all the trade-offs, would be the Klein Tru-Grip Ball Grip. I like the fact that it has this passive locking mechanism that allows it to auto-lock. I like that this collar is in a natural position. It's also easier to unlock than the CentroFix. I like the fact that Klein can take any bit. I like that the Klein handle is shorter than the Wiha Centrafix. It's more compact. I also like it for EDC, that I can take a bit and put it in here in the opposite direction. It stores in the handle. When I need that bit, I can just open up the collar and take it right out. And as of today, the Klein ball grip is about half the price of the Wiha Centrafix. So for those reasons, I like this Klein Tools FastBit Tru-Grip screwdriver better than the Wiha Centrafix. That's not to take anything away from the CentroFix. This is a great screwdriver. It feels great in the hand. These are both excellent screwdrivers, and there are some advantages with the CentroFix. It does have excellent lockout, but between the two, I think in actual use, you're not going to notice the difference in the lockout between the locking bit holder in the Wiha or the locking bit holder on the Klein. The Wiha Centrafix bit holder does have the advantage that you can drive 1-inch long bits instead of having to use a bit holder like you do in the Klein Tools ball grip. And I do really like this ball grip on the Klein. It's not to say this Wiha is not an excellent screwdriver. It is, and it's a great tool. I think it comes down to weighing the trade-offs, and it comes down to your personal preference. So let me know which one of these you prefer in the comments below. So there you have it, folks. Just a quick comparison between the Klein Tools FastBit Tru-Grip and the Wiha Centrafix. Let me know in the comments which driver you like the best. If you have any experience with this Wiha, I'd love to hear about it. I'll have a link to both of these in the description. And please remember to like and subscribe. Those actions help me to continue to bring content to you here in the Project Pine Hills channel. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next video.